Hello, my dear children. Hope all of you are doing good. From many days, we have not done our physics class. So, once again, I welcome everyone to our physics class. We are learning our lesson 2. So, in this lesson, I have already done your question answer, only half part. Rest of half part I will explain in your next video. So, children, in this lesson, we have learned about the Archimedes principle and its application. So, children, here I will show your Archimedes principle and their application in our daily life. So, we all of you know that Archimedes is a Greek scientist or mathematician. He has done so many experiments in his life, and this law of flotation is discovered by him. So, what is our Archimedes principle tells when an object in a liquid partially or wholly, the apparent loss of an object is equal to the upthrust, and this is also equal to the weight of the liquid displaced. So I have told that when you are putting any object in a liquid partially or wholly, then it experiences a loss of weight. Now children, what is the amount of loss of weight? That is equal to the weight of the fluid displaced by the immersed part of the body, or you can tell that loss of weight is equal to the upthrust. So children, this we have learnt in our Archimedes principle, and in our law of flotation I have told you that this law tells that if the density of an object is less than that of the fluid, then the object floats, and if the density of the object is greater than that of the fluid, then the object sinks. So regarding this law of flotation, we have already seen the three cases where we have compared the weight of the body with the buoyant force of the liquid. So when we have seen that the weight of the body is greater than the buoyant force or upthrust of the liquid, then the object will sink. Okay, children, and the weight of the body always acts vertically downward because of the pull of gravity of Earth, and the band force is our upthrust, which always acts vertically upward due to the weight of the liquid displaced by it. So, children, here I will show you some application regarding our Archimedes principle. So, see, children, here one balloon is there. Okay, I am trying to push the balloon inside the liquid. So, applied force is always downward. This is the force of the object or weight of the body. Then, upward force is our always in upward direction. This is our upthrust, or we can tell that buoyant force. So, in this case, all of you know that balloon is lightweight. For that reason, if we will apply force above it, then also it will come back to the surface of liquid because of upthrust is greater than our weight of the body. So this is the concept of your upthrust or buoyancy. For the reason, the balloon floats over the liquid because upward force is more above the balloon. So children, here we have understood that some force is there inside the liquid which pushes all the object upward direction. This force is our upward force or buoyant force, or you can tell this phenomenon as buoyancy. So children, hope all of you have understood about your upward force, and your downward force is always acts downward direction, that is your towards the ground or towards the earth's surface, and downward force is always because of the earth's gravitational force. Then, children, we have a doubt that see, a small iron nail is there and a big sheep is there. But we have seen that a sheep made up of metal, which is very heavier than our small iron nail, that will float, but our iron nail will sink. So, this is a very big question among us. So, we will understand about it. So children, here see in this figure, one side a big sheep is there which weight is more than a small iron nail. But we are seeing that the sheep is floating but the iron nail is sinking. So children, here see, this is your iron nail which volume is very less and its density is more than the water. And we have learnt in our law of flotation that if the density of an object is greater than the density of the liquid, then it will sink. So here what will happen? the iron nail will sink. But in case of ship, what is happening? We will just consider our Archimedes principle. Here see, the ship is built hollow from inside. This is your hollow part. From inside the ship is built hollow, and it is designed in such a way that when its hull is partially immersed in water, the weight of the water displaced by it equals to the total weight of the ship. So children, this hull is filled with our air. For that reason, what will happen? Its volume increases. As its volume increases, whatever amount of water is displaced by the ship will be same as the upward force exerted by the liquid. As a result, the resultant force becomes zero and the ship floats on the water. So whatever the downward force acting upon the ship, that is our gravitational force, which will be measurable or which will be manageable by our upward force exerted by the liquid because of this hole where air is filled. Because as air is filled inside it, its volume will increase, and we know that if the volume will increase, then more upthrust. For that reason, this ship cannot sink, rather it is floating above the surface. Hope all of you have understood, children. So again I am telling you, see, in case of iron nail is heavier and its density is also more and its volume is less than the water. For that reason, it will sink. More downward force is towards the ground as compared to the upward force. But in case of ship, the hull is filled with air. Because of that, its volume will increase. If volume will increase, more upthrust. Okay children, because our volume is directly proportional to the upthrust. If more upthrust, then the weight of the liquid displaced by the object will also more. Here, the weight of the liquid displaced by the ship will equal to our upthrust. For that reason, the weight of the ship is balanced by your upward force exerted by this liquid or river water. For that reason, you can see that our ship can easily float above the water surface. Another thing is there, children, when ships coming from sea water to river water, they have to sink more as they have to displace more volume of water, because sea water is having sea content. For that reason, its density is more. For that reason, that ship has to displace less amount of water because your upward force is more. As the density of liquid is more upward force. So, the sea has to remove or displace less amount of water. But in river water, the density is less than our sea water. For that reason, in the river water, the ship has to displace more amount of water to create more upthrust. Okay children, by this process, a ship can manage above the sea water or in our river water. So this is, you can see, upthrust is more as its volume will increase, so it will displace more amount of water, just like our balloon concept. In balloon, its volume will be more. For that reason, its weight decreases as compared to our water. It goes to upward direction. Here see, the weight of the water it displaces will be equal to the upward force exerted by the liquid. Now children, I will make you understand the concept of flotation of fish. We all of you know that fish is an organism which can float above the surface of water as well as it can go inside the water. Here see, this is our bunny fish and here one swim bladder is there. Okay, the yellow colored one is our swim bladder. It is a long chamber of soft flexible walls. So, gases from the fluids of the fish body can diffuse into this chamber. For that reason, if gases will go inside the chamber will increase its volume. This results in greater displacement of water, hence greater upthrust. So children, we can understand from here that if volume will increase, then upthrust will be more by the water and the water displaced by the object will be more. For that reason, the fish rises to the surface. Okay, so here you can see that swim bladder filled with our gases. For that reason, the ship goes upward direction because its volume increases. If volume will increases, more upthrust or upward force by the liquid, and the object can go upward direction. But in case of when that ship will go to downward direction, at that time that gases contained in the chamber are released and the walls of the chamber collapse, thereby decreasing the volume. Here you can see the walls of the chamber become shorter or gets collapse. So here the upward force will also decrease as volume decreases. So children, always remember the volume affects more. If volume will increase, then upward force will also increase. If volume decreases, then upward force will also decreases. Like that, if density of liquid is more, then more upward force. The body can float easily above the surface. For that reason, when you will compare the iron nail in water and in mercury, you can see that in mercury the iron nail can float, but in water it will sink. Why children? In between water and our mercury, the density of mercury will more. So, this is the concept of our flotation of fish. In this figure, you see when the chamber filled with gas, its wall expands. So, volume increases, the ship goes upward direction. Then, when the volume will decrease or the gas is released, then their walls will collapse. For that reason, upward force will decrease. So, by adjusting the volume of its the swim bladder, the fish can move anywhere inside the water. So it is the concept. So children, before that you didn't know that how the fish can move up or down. So this is the concept. Try to understand and try to remember. And the same concept for your ship, that also I have told. Only the thing is that you have to see the volume and density, volume of the object and density of the liquid. If volume will more upthrust, and if density will more upthrust. So if you will understand this concept properly, then you can easily remember the things. So this is the concept children about your Archimedes principle and law of flotation. Hope all of you have understood. Thank you.